This video is part of a series of SSIS tutorial videos created by COZYROC. In this video, I will show you how to use the fuzzy lookup transformation to look up and correct values based on a reference table. This is the Excel spreadsheet that I'll be using as the source for this package, and commodity is the column that we'll be looking up in a reference table to correct anything that's misspelled. So the first item that I have misspelled is soybeans, and of course that should be soybeans with an N as in Nancy. And then the next row is 10, so corn has a D at the end, and of course should be corrected to corn. Then we have 11, this is supposed to be gold, and it's guild. And then row 19 is palm oil, and it actually has two spaces in between the two words instead of just a single space. And then row 20 has a period in between the A and the L in aluminum. So, and this has the three columns, commodity, quantity, and customer. And we'll be looking up the country in our reference table. Here's a reference table that we'll be using to look up the country based on the commodity. It's called commodity ref, and there you can see it just has the two columns, commodity and country. And it'll use the spelling from the commodity column in this table to correct the misspellings from the source. So we'll go over to Visual Studio. We'll start by dragging the data flow task onto the canvas. And I'll double click to go over to the data flow canvas. And now we'll go down and find the Excel source component, drag that onto the canvas. We'll be using this to read that Excel file, which is commodity customer. And we double click to open the editor, and we need to set up a new connection manager, so I'll browse for that. And here's commodity customer. We click OK, and then we need to select the name of the Excel sheet, which is input commodity $. Click on preview, and there we can see the three columns again with the same data we just looked at, commodity, quantity, and customer. And we click OK to close the editor. Now we'll go find the fuzzy lookup transformation and drag that onto the canvas. And we're going to fuzzy look up the commodity. Stay tuned to see how I configure the fuzzy lookup transformation and the rest of the package. We'll connect the arrow from the source. Double click on the transformation to open the editor. We will click on New to set up a new connection manager. And we'll select New Tutorials as the database where the table resides. We click OK. And now our reference table name is commodity ref. And now we have to go map the columns and tell it which column we want it to look up. So it's already figured that out because commodity is the only column name that matches. And then we'll say we want to pass this through and join it to our output table. So we're matching commodity to commodity, and country will be added. That'll be looked up in the reference table, and we'll call this, I'll just get rid of the one there, and we'll add corrected underscore commodity, and that'll be the name of that new column. Okay, then we go to advanced, and you can actually select the number of matches that you want. We're going to leave it set at the default, which is 1. And then the similarity threshold, I'm going to put that at 0.70. We don't want it matching things that shouldn't be matched. And we'll leave everything else and see how it goes. So I'll click OK, and the red X goes away. And now for our destination, we choose OLEDB destination, and we'll call this commodity output table. And we'll connect the arrow. Double click to open the editor. We'll go find the table. It's called Clean Commodity Table, and we'll make sure it's empty. And there you can see the additional columns that will be added by doing the fuzzy lookup. And now we'll go to mappings. And there it's mapped all the columns. And I'll save the package. And then I'll go over to the name of the package, right mouse click, and select Execute Package. And it was successful, so I'll stop debugging. And we'll go over to Management Studio, and I'll select everything from the Clean Commodity Table. And we had 5 misspelled commodities, and you can see that only 3 of them were corrected. So it's easy to tell what was corrected by looking at this similarity commodity column. So corrected soybeans, corn D, and palm oil. So let's go see. I know that Guild, it's never going to correct that no matter what I do. But row 19 with aluminum, I can show you how to fix that, so we'll make a correction there. So we'll go back to Visual Studio, and I'll open up the editor for the transformation, and we'll go to the Advanced tab. So the token delimiters, it delimits the columns, and we have a period in here, which is rather hard to see, but it's the second character here, so I'm going to delete that. So we'll tell it not to use a period as a column delimiter. So I'll click OK and save the package again. I forgot to truncate the table, so we'll go back to Management Studio and truncate the table, make sure it's empty, and now we'll go to Visual Studio again and execute the package. And it was successful, so we'll stop debugging and go over to Management Studio, and we'll select all from the Clean Commodity Table. And now you can see row 19 was corrected, as well as the other 3 rows. And it's still not correcting GILD to be GOLD. I tested several different misspellings for the word gold to see which ways would result in the transformation finding a match and which ways would result in it not finding a match. Based on my tests, my theory is that at least 4 characters in a row need to match for the transformation to successfully match it to the correct spelling. There may be other criteria also. Anyway, if you want to be sure your data gets cleaned up, you may want to use a different method. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to follow us on social media, here's how you can do that.